Hello, boys and ghouls. It's your favorite host, Benjamin Dutil of the Horror Heathen YouTube channel and the South Jersey Horror Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest with me, Jeremy Rudd, who is an actor, a writer, and director, doing the whole hat trick, triple trifecta thing going on, which is amazing. And today, we're going to talk about his movie called Diced, which is now streaming on Amazon Prime for a low $5.99. If you want, if you're cheap like me, just do it anyway. Um, HD for next dollar more. But from what I gather from you, sir, is that you were born in Seattle, Washington. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
I lived in Washington State for 3 years. I know how what the weather is like. I know what the traffic is like, and I know what the culture is like. So it's fantastic. Was Is that where this movie was filmed at in Seattle?
Yeah, all throughout Seattle. And then you have your east side areas like Issaquah, Woodinville, and then up north, Everett area. So a little bit all over Washington.
I lived in Tacoma, Puyallup, and Seattle, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
You are I can't pronounce this right. I'm tongue tied today. You are known for the films City on a Hill, Burning Sands, The Fetus, and just kind of Days, which just came out. You most recently landed a role in the horror film In the Fetus, which I would like to know more about if we can talk about that at the end. Um,
Yep.
you have a twin brother named Nathan. Was he in the movie by some chance?
Yeah, Nathan. Well, he did. He was going to be a cop, but his scene didn't get make the scene. But he was definitely an executive producer on this film. He was there on set every single day, so he helped out a lot for it.
Okay, fantastic. So a quick synopsis of this awesome movie. Like I said, I just finished watching it and I'm in love with it already. So the movie is about a teenage girl determined to discover what happened to her missing mom, finds herself face to face with a deranged serial killer that was mistakenly released from an insane asylum on Halloween night. Starring Eden Campbell, who was in the Mortuary Collection, Fear Street Part 2, Jason Brooks, who starred as Jason Voorhees in the fan favorite crowd-funded indie films of Friday the 13th, like Blood, Vengeance, all that stuff like that. Fantastic crew and cast. I mean, the
Mhm.
acting was phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie. I just became a huge fan of independent films not too long ago, and I've been supporting independent films since I'm gonna say since January. So,
Yeah.
and the Indigo crowdfunding, whatever I do, whatever I do, I help to support independent films as much as I can. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the talented, the writer, the actor, director, Jeremy Rudd. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Appreciate you for having me on this on your show, and happy to tell a little bit more about the film.
Absolutely. The honor is all mine, sir. It's a great pleasure. I'm glad you reached out to me, and I am super glad that I got to watch the movie. Um, I caught some good vibes from it. I mean, just watching it. I mean, the whole silent role for Benjamin, which which is awkward for me because my name is Benjamin, which is really weird. So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the whole thing was, I wanted to have a villain that, you know, was like within because he hangs around like everyday people. So we wanted to have show his face. We didn't want him to be super scary, but we wanted to be creepy on the same time. So we wanted to kind of show his facial expression. So we wanted to have a painted mask, not like a something that's covered his face. But yeah, we got Jason Brooks to play the villain. He's like 6'5", 230 pounds, super stocky guy, super
powering over people.
yeah. He did a and luckily he's already living in Seattle, so that was definitely a plus. So we didn't have to fly him out or anything. And another added bonus is that him and his team do special effects. They did all the special effects, special effects for the film. So all the kill scenes, all the gore and blood is all due to him and his team. So they did a fantastic job.
I could not agree more. It was done so well. I was believing it. So, um, I tell a lot of people that I'm a very harsh critiquer when it comes to horror movies. Very hard to impress. But this one is, I give it 4.5 out of 5. It was done so well. Um, the directing, you did a great job directing. Like I said, the acting was phenomenal. Dialogue was perfect, short and sweet between each character. And
Yeah.
it had me going. I was zoned in the entire time, which is very rare for me when it comes to independent films.
Yeah, I mean, it's very straight to the point. One of the things I kind of wish I would have did more was, make the dialogue a little longer so that way people can fall more in love with the characters. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to get this film out, get the idea out. I thought I had a really good idea about what's going on. The characters are very likable or relatable. Um, but yeah, ultimately, I wrote the script for, I think it took like 4 or 5 months for me to write the script. I reached out to a local production team in Seattle. We teamed up, booked out some shot locations, and then we did the casting. Eden Campbell actually already lives in Seattle as well. So I think the only one character that we flew out from California was the was Nigel. He plays the dad. He was in a bunch of stuff on Netflix and like CW as well. So he did a really good job playing the father in the film.
Okay. So I got some questions for you, kind of off the wallish. I'm trying to do this without spoiling the movie too much because I have no idea who's seen it yet. So, what was the inspiration for making this movie?
So the inspiration for making this movie, basically, I just wanted to make like a 80s based slasher film because I grew up watching, Friday the 13th or Child's Play, Halloween. So any just wanted a nostalgic 80s based slasher, typical slasher film. That was my whole mindset behind it, and then also adding some new elements of new school horror as well. So everything in this film, from like the decor, the dialogue, the what the characters are wearing, is all going to be like 80s based. So that was the whole main idea, to kind of bring something back to horror films now that people used to watch back in the day, where it all originated from. So that was the whole main, focus point for this film.
It was great. I mean, it definitely brought back some memories for me.
There you
The
go.
costumes and the props, the alarm clock on the nightstand. I was like, holy shit! I used to have one of those.
Yeah, yeah. We had one of the productions friends, one of the production's friends, production team's friend, they had a whole bunch of like 80s props, because they previously did an 80s film. So I got lucky there. They had a bunch of stuff that we were able to use on set.
Because I just checked off the list, like done, too easy.
Yeah. Mhm.
So the Halloween vibe, I definitely love the Halloween vibe of the movie. And you already said you wanted to do like the Halloween vibe to bring back the 80s. So fantastically done. The whole Scare Crew costume, love it. I mean, the guy just creeped me the hell out with his makeup on.
Mhm.
They say he's tall and he's heavy. So Benjamin the deranged psychopath. Plot twist at the end, and
Yeah.
I don't want to give it out too much, but what was the idea of the plot twist without giving away too much of a clue about it?
Man, I don't know where I got the idea from. I was just writing. I was like, man, I have to have like something big at the end to make people want to watch the second one, because there's definitely going to be a second, because I have people like messaging me all day long talking about how much they love the film. But yeah, the plot twist just came to me as I was writing it. It wasn't even something that I initially thought about when I started writing. It just came to me towards like the middle of the when I was writing it. But yeah, the ending of it is definitely like built for a part two for sure.
Leave it the cliffhanger. There's no other way of doing it. So
Yeah, I purposely left there's a bunch of questions that people, have about the film, like, like unanswered questions that they have. Like, and I don't want to give anything away, but I kind of purposely wrote it like that just so people can kind of want more from it. So yeah, that was the whole idea about it.
well, anyone who wants to watch it and catch that plot twist at the end, Dice is now streaming on Amazon and any other platforms it's playing on that you know of.
Yeah, so in a couple of weeks, we are working to get it on like Apple TV, Tubi, YouTube TV, and there's a couple other ones we're looking to get it on to as well. But right now, for the I think up until like Halloween is going to be all only on Amazon Prime.
Oh, excuse me. So every director and actor has a favorite scene in the movie. What is your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is probably the one you just mentioned before we hopped on this call. Probably the bathroom like kill scene. That's probably my most. I love that scene. So there's a total of 5 kills in the scene, and that's definitely my top one.
So yeah, yeah, the bathroom kill scene was definitely my favorite one. I was like, yes,
Yeah,
it was
what's something?
great.
Well, ultimately trying to think of like what kind of kills haven't I seen before? And I was trying to thinking like creative ways on how we can, kill, get this. He plays like well, I don't want to give too much away, but he plays like a douchebag in the film. So just it was very justified to, make sure the villain, guts him up really nicely.
Boy, so damn we're not gutting them up.
Yeah.
Were there any scenes that were too difficult to film?
Man, the most difficult one was the 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 most difficult scene was probably I don't want to spoil it, but there's probably this the scene at the I think it's the second kill. It was
Yeah.
difficult because we did that kill and we booked out this Airbnb and the homeowner was she was kind of she thought we told her that we were gonna film in the house, do a bunch of filming and stuff. But she thought it was just gonna be like 5, 6 people. It was like 20 people in the house. So we were basically on a time crunch to get this kill scene done and knocked out. So there's like 20, 30 people in the house. She kind of was rushing us. So we was like, all right, let's get this done really quickly. But ultimately it still came out really good, but that was probably the most difficult one, but just because of the time constraint we had to do that for.
So maximum obviously is 15. So we got it's just over by five.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, ultimately she understood that we were here to make a film, and we were able to get it done, but under a time constraint. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure she was well comped for her contribution to
yeah,
Airbnb.
yeah, exactly.
So working with Ethan Campbell and Jason Brooks, two
Hmm.
well-known actors in Hollywood, and were they awesome to work with? Were they great?
Oh yeah, they were really awesome to work with. They were on time every single day, very punctual. They took direction very well. If I had to tell them, do it this way, or and also they came with their own, they came with their own flavor as well. I like when actors or actresses come with their own idea of a character, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I kind of like that idea better than what I ever had. If I had something else in mind. But yeah, ultimately they were really good to work with.
Love hearing that how actors are professional on the set. I mean, nothing makes me happier hearing stuff like that. How long did it take to shoot the movie?
To shoot the movie was a little under a month to shoot the film. It was done all throughout Washington. The we did the warehouse scene in Everett. Booked a couple Airbnbs all throughout Washington, but yeah, it was done. It was done better than I expected. Let's
That's
say,
good. Yeah.
yeah.
The house with the glass railings on top. I gotta find that house. I want a house just like
Yeah, that house was in Monroe. My house was in Monroe, so.
that. It was a good scene. I mean, it was a good spot. I mean, it definitely shot at 80s. It had the 80s written all over.
Yep.
Were there any one take scenes throughout the entire movie?
One take, no.
No.
One take is, huh? I say the diner scene was pretty quick. They were the actresses. It was Eden and Isha. They were pretty dialed into the lines and everything, so they knocked that one out pretty quickly when Benjamin comes in from outside and kind of they have their first interaction with the villain there. So that one was probably the quickest.
It's awesome. That's great. I mean, quick scenes are fun scenes, but otherwise you got the kill scenes, which could be best, and so it's kind of a toss up.
Yeah. Hmm.
But definitely love the film. The transition was great. The directing is great. The acting was phenomenal. Um, kill scenes. Oh my goodness, the splitting head in the bathroom. Yes, I'm spoiling it. People deal with it. The splitting. It was Jesus Christ. I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. Seeing the whole brains and everything in the picture, I was like, that was done so well. Um, I loved it. I mean, I was surprised. I was blown away by the movie. Like I said, I'm very hard to impress, but I was blown away by your film.
Yeah,
Um,
appreciate.
are there any other projects or films that you would like to talk about that I could help promote?
Oh, yeah, that's a good segue. So, I'm a part of a film called The Fetus. Me and my brother, we are the associate producers on it. It's called The Fetus, and it stars Lauren LaVera. She was in
Really?
Terrifier. Yeah,
Yes.
she was in Terrifier too. And I speak to the director all the time about different ideas about the film, or where we can improve, where we can improve. We speak all the time, but Lauren did a very good job on that film. We're trying to lock in when we want to release it. Right now, we're at the early stage of speaking to different distribution companies on when and where we want it to be released. But it stars Lauren, like I just mentioned, and then also Bill Mosley. He was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Really?
So yeah, you guys
Wow.
definitely look that one up. That one's going to be a really good one to look out for. Yeah, that's probably the next project what I have coming out. But other than that, just working on Dice, getting that out to as many viewers as possible. Let them watch that, and then eventually, if it takes off, do a part two.
Absolutely. I really hope I hope you land it. I really do. I mean,
Yeah,
it looks like sometimes sequels are not that good, but I have a feeling this is going to be phenomenal because
yeah. Especially with a
we had
bigger
the
budget. Bigger budget. Me being this being my second film, directing, I learned a ton from the first one. So yeah, bigger budget, bigger production team, bigger, better kills. Definitely gonna keep Eden and Jason for the next one for sure because they did an amazing job. So yeah, that's kind of what I got lined up.
okay. So if you ever decide to put it on Indiegogo or crowdfunding, let me know. I want to help. So I like I said, I'm a huge supporter of the independent films. I've donated so much money towards like 6 different films in the past 6 months because it's a struggle. I get it with the SAG strike going on. Actors are hard to
Yeah,
get. So
yeah,
independent is the way to go for now until everything is put back together. So
exactly.
I wish you the best of luck in your career in directing more movies. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to promote the hell out of your new movie, The Fetus, along with Lauren LaVera and Bill Mosley. And I've had the opportunity to actually interview Lauren about a
Oh,
year
thank you.
ago. So
Yeah,
she's a really cool person, and I hope that your sequel it launches. I really do. So
yeah. Appreciate it.
take care, have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you around.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
All right. All right.